Hey guys, I know this is kind of an unusual format for my video. Normally I'm like centered in the camera. It's kind of driving me crazy, but I swear it's for a purpose. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys about 10 really great apps for travelers. So I'm going to be showing you guys on my iPhone screen, and I really hope this works because this is actually the first time I've tried recording my iPhone screen. I'm going to start off with just a few language apps because I think it's really important that you learn at least just a little bit of the language of the place that you're going. It can make a huge difference in just how people perceive you, and it also can kind of save your butt in a lot of cases. So the first one is just Google Translate. A lot of you guys know this is not the most accurate way to translate, especially like sentences and long phrases, but it generally does pretty well with stuff like how are you. I also really like this one feature that Google Translate has, which is the speaking feature. So I'm gonna okay, so there you go. There's an example for you. So if there is a word in a language that you can pronounce properly, but you can't actually spell it, this can be super helpful. Moving along, the next app I'm going to show you is called Flash Academy. The guys from Flash Academy actually reached out to me a little bit ago, and they asked if I wanted to try the premium version of their app, which of course I said yes to. I'd already played around with the free version of the app, but the premium gave me access to a ton more features that I didn't have access to previously. So starting here with just a few basics, which is what I was kind of playing around with. So here's just an example of a lesson.
Les céréales.
You have a word on a flashcard. You can hit the audio if you want to hear the word. If you hit video, you can actually watch a native speaker say that word, which can be really helpful to actually watch their mouth say it. What Flash Academy has, though, that a lot of other language apps don't really offer is flashcards, for one. So here it's just like an electronic flashcard. You can also click sentences if you want to see it in a sentence, and also grammar. But here's my favorite part. You can play word games. So it will give you games based on that set of lessons, and you get to practice what you've learned recently, as well as just kind of exercise your mind a little bit. So for this one, you have to spell out bread, so you have to know the word for bread and be able to find it. This one's actually one of my favorites. It makes you like speed up your comprehension a little bit and remember a little faster while you're trying to do other things as well. Anyway, there are just a ton of fun games there that you can play with each of your lessons, and they have this for French, Spanish, Italian, and recently German as well. So it's a really fun app, and the guys at Flash Academy gave me an offer to share with you guys. If you decide to buy the premium version of the app and you use my link down below, then you will get a free pack of Flash Sticks Post-it notes, which is pretty cool. In addition to Flash Academy, another app that I use is called Duolingo. You'll see here that I've completed all the lessons in French, but I haven't worked on a lot of them for quite a while, so I need to strengthen all of that. So sometimes they have you translating from French to English, sometimes English to French, sometimes you have to listen to stuff like in this example. And a huge benefit of Duolingo is that it's available in a ton of different languages. I don't actually know the list. Both this one and Flash Academy are really good if you're about a beginner to intermediate level, or if, like me, you just want to use it to sort of refresh your vocabulary and your conjugations. So moving along out of language apps and into some more like planning and stuff like that, the first that I recommend is TripAdvisor. I'm kind of a sucker for like reviews and stuff when I'm going to a new place. You don't always have a contact in every city you go to. You can't always just ask a friend what's good. There are a lot of different options like hotels and flights and stuff that I don't really use that much in TripAdvisor, but I really like, for example, restaurants. Recently I've done just an example search in London, not that I'm planning a trip to London, unfortunately. And if you're going to be in a specific spot in London, you can also specify that, but right now I'm just keeping it really general, and it just gives you some different options, some reviews on them. You can read what people liked and didn't like. You also can use filters. So for example, I don't want to spend that much money. So you can do that. You can do, I only want, minimum 4 stars. And you can also choose your cuisine type. So let's say I only want British food. I'm in London. And then voila, so many different options. And most of these things I probably would never have known existed otherwise. In a similar vein is the app called Yelp, which most of you have probably heard of at least. Again, reviews of places and finding new places. They give you the hours. If they have happy hour, they also have that information. Let's just say I'm going to be in Camden Town, London, United Kingdom. And you've just got all these options that you can then choose from based on whatever criteria you happen to want to base it on. Next up, we've got Kayak. Kayak allows you to search for hotels, flights, and cars, but I really only ever use it for flights, and I use it for this all the time. I'm pretty sure probably like 95% of all the flights that I've bought in the past couple of years have come from Kayak deals that I found. So basically what Kayak does is it accumulates a bunch of information from a bunch of different websites, and it gives you the best priced flights that it can find. So this is the arbitrary search that I tested it on earlier, not actually someplace I'm going, unfortunately. So it searches through flights, and it gradually just kind of pulls up cheaper and cheaper flights as it finds them. So here you have it. You got Air Canada giving me the cheapest options. Oh, and it just updated, so now it shows me American Airlines and United United are the cheapest. And it also mixes airlines. So if you just went to American Airlines website, they wouldn't give you this option at all because it's part American Airlines and part United. You can also filter it if there's, for example, is a specific time that you either need to take off or you need to land. Again, there are tons of websites that do this exact same thing, but I've just had the most success with Kayak. Another really great app for booking and travel is Airbnb. So often, especially if you're traveling in big groups, it can be very, very expensive to find a hotel. Sometimes hostels are not the cleanest or they might not be available in the place you're going. So another option that you have is someplace like Airbnb, which is basically when someone wants to rent out either a room in their house or their entire apartment. So here's another arbitrary search that I did randomly, as if I'm going to New York. And I think I had some really strange filters going on, but let me just show you some of the filters. You can choose your room type. You can change for your amenities as well. Like I had pets allowed because that really brought the number down. But if you, of course, are not traveling with pets, that's not an issue, and you have a lot more options. As you can see, 300 homes. And then you just scroll, and again, you go on reviews of what past people have said, if they're a good host, if it's a good place and location. Something else I really recommend that you have is either Google Maps or Apple Maps. I have just pulled up here the Eiffel Tower in Paris, just randomly. But of course, if you don't have Wi-Fi or data connection really reliably in the place that you're going, this can be a bit of a problem because you do need that to be able to access this. So what I recommend is that when you're on Wi-Fi or data, you take screenshots of your screen, of the entire like surrounding area of the place that you're going, or especially like your hotel that you're staying at, basically all the important places of your trip, and just screenshot them while you have access to it. This next app I haven't actually tried when I'm in a city, but it's called City Mapper, and I'm about to move to Paris, which you guys know because I announced it in my last video, so I'm super, super excited to actually try this out when I'm there. But I've played around with it a little bit so far just to see kind of what it offers, and it seems like a really, really great app. So you can set where your home is or your workplace is, and then when you do a search, here's just the example that I did earlier, Notre Dame to the Eiffel Tower. So not only does it give you a route that you can follow, but it tells you the walking time, the biking time, how many calories you're gonna burn approximately doing that. And then it also gives you this option, this third option is for Uber. Again, I haven't tried this out, so I don't know exactly how accurate it is, but that is a super cool feature that I haven't seen before. It gives you, if you just want the Metro Tram suggested routes, if you just want to take a bus, just a lot of different options that Google Maps and Apple Maps just don't really cover in that much depth. So I'm really excited to try it. I'll let you guys know what I think about it on Twitter probably. The last app that I recommend that you have is some sort of currency app. I have XE currency right now. Obviously, most people know that Google does really great currency conversions, but the advantage that you get with this app and probably some other currency apps that you can find is that when you're off of Wi-Fi or data, you obviously need that for Google to be able to search that. But for this, it will just use whatever the market rate was last time you were on Wi-Fi, last time you opened it, and then you can actually use it when you're off of Wi-Fi. I've covered my 10 apps now, but I will give you just a little bonus thing right now. I also recommend you have some sort of game that's highly addictive and that doesn't require data or Wi-Fi connection. When you're gonna be spending a lot of hours on a plane or a bus or just any other type of transportation, there are gonna be times when there's not much to see and there's not much to do. So before you leave, I recommend you just get a couple of games that you really like and that are kind of time consuming and that do not require data connection. You will thank me later. So there you have it. There are the 10/11-ish apps that I recommend that you get before you go traveling. Let me know in the comments which ones of these you like or you're gonna try, or if you have other recommendations of stuff that you use when you travel. From the time that this video goes up, I'm probably gonna be leaving for Paris in like a few days, so it's about to get real. So I'll let you guys know how everything is going as it's happening on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll be back pretty soon with another video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you soon.